Guys, welcome back to the Western Vocal channel of SIFF Young Artiste, where we nurture the artist in you. I'm Anirudh, and today welcome to episode number 12 of our weekly live series Feedback Fridays, where we react and give feedback to submissions of you guys singing. And I told you last week that I might have a surprise for you guys, and here he is.
What's up, guys?
Welcome my good friend Angad and also the guitar teacher at SIFF Young Artiste. So today both of us together are going to be giving you feedback and reviewing the submissions that you guys have sent to us. If you're watching for the first time, make sure to watch till the end, and you can head to the description below to submit your new entries to us as well. So without further ado, let's kick this off. Ready?
Let's get into it.
Okay, so we have 5 videos today as well as each session. And the first one is by Abhitesh Nayak from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Let's take a listen.
आने वाला पल जाने वाला है आने वाला पल जाने वाला है हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो पल जो ये जाने वाला है हो आने वाला पल जाने वाला है हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो पल जो ये जाने वाला है हो
Okay, that abruptly cuts off a little. Okay, so Angad, I'll let you start because you're our guest today. So what did you think of Abhitesh singing?
I think सबसे पहले मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि सॉन्ग चॉइस मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी. आने वाला पल, इट्स लाइक एन एवरग्रीन सॉन्ग, क्लासिक सॉन्ग भी है, एंड मतलब सुन के मेरा दिल खुश हो गया. आई गेस मैंने भी ये गाना काफ़ी टाइम से नहीं सुना था, सो इट्स लाइक ब्रिंगिंग बैक मेमोरीज. एंड एक और चीज़ मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी, आई लाइक द साउंड ऑफ हिज वॉइस. हो सकता है इट माइट बी बिकॉज ये जो लोकेशन जहाँ पे ये गा रहे हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है कि उसका नेचुरल एको या कुछ रिवर्ब आ रहा है उसमें, विच मतलब उसकी आवाज़ पे बहुत जच भी रहा है, एंड इट्स मेकिंग द होल सॉन्ग कम टू लाइफ, यू नो. और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, एंड हिज वॉइस इज काइंड ऑफ सूटिंग दिस सॉन्ग, व्हिच इज अगेन बहुत ही कूल लगा सॉन्ग चॉइस के हिसाब से, यू नो.
Yeah, that is something we always talk about, that choose songs that fit your voice, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think this song does fit his voice. Okay, and now Abhitesh, you've got some good words of encouragement. Now let me give you a bit of feedback on the points that I think you could improve on. And Angad, if you have anything to add, like feel free to cut me off and add to that. So firstly, I think Abhitesh, as he said, your voice has a very rich texture to it, and I really enjoyed listening to the texture of your voice and the reverb in the room. But apart from that, one thing I noticed was you were using a backing track, but the vocals were not landing on the beat. So as we call it, ताल पे गाना, am I correct?
Yeah.
ताल पे और ताल में.
बिल्कुल.
Okay.
ताल
So,
के साथ.
ताल के साथ गाना. So that is singing on the beat or singing to a rhythm, right? So that was a bit off, where you were taking it after the beat in most cases. So please try to practice a little more with what we say a metronome or a click track, which just goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And start singing with the beat. Break it down. Listen to the original song, how it moves with the beat, and try to do that. And apart from that, I think the sur or the tune, as we say it, pitching, there weren't too many issues, but I think towards the end, it was a little off from what I heard. So you can also practice your pitching with an instrument, or I've told this like hundreds of times before in the previous Feedback Friday lives. You can use an app like Perfect Piano, you can play it, you can try to match the pitch, and that is how you practice. You can do a lot of ear training as well, listen to a note, try to match it with your singing. So that's pretty much it. And on top of that, I would definitely like to listen to a lot more of this classic sort of a sound with your voice. That is what suits you perfectly. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. And of course, focus on the warm-ups like lip trills, vocal fries, and we have like the whole bunch in our reels and also in the Western Vocals beginners course that we do every Monday at 4. So please catch up on that. Anything else to add, Angad, to Abhitesh?
नहीं, I think you've covered all the points. बस वही था कि ताल के एकदम बस एक बीट पहले लग रहा था कि ताल को पकड़ने के लिए आप कोशिश कर रहे हो, है ना? तो बस वही मेन चीज़ है। और जैसा कहा सर ने कि वार्म अप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो जितना आप उसको घिस के करोगे उतना ही अच्छे आपकी आवाज़ बनेगी सॉन्ग्स के लिए।
Great. Thank you, Angad. So now let's move forward. So next we have Ariz from Mohali, Punjab. So let's take a listen. So we usually play about a minute of each track. So this is a 1 minute 30-second clip. So let's just play a minute of it.
Let's go.
क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा। अब क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा। पहले सोचा होता पागल, अब रोने से क्या होगा। अब क्या सोचे क्या होना है, जो होगा अच्छा होगा। आज किसी ने दिल तोड़ा तो जैसे हमको ध्यान आया। आज किस
That was about a minute. I think we got a clear picture, right?
समझ
So
में
yeah,
आ गया।
what do you have to say to
ऐसा
Ariz?
लग रहा है कि हारमोनियम बजाया है साथ में, बजा है ना
Right,
हल्का
yes,
सा।
yes.
बट आई गेस कि उसमें आई थिंक मुझे हारमोनियम की साउंड थोड़ी ज़्यादा चाहिए होती रिकॉर्डिंग में, शायद उनके लिए भी ठीक रहता। बट गाने की बात की जाए तो मतलब अगेन जो होना था अच्छा ही होता। आई रियली लाइक दिस सॉन्ग, बढ़िया लगा मुझे। आवाज़ पे भी थोड़ा सा जच रहा है इनकी। लेकिन एक चीज़ मुझे लग रहा है कि इनको ना थोड़ा सा जो मुर्खियाँ लेते हैं, विच इज़ वाइब्राटो हम कहते हैं वेस्टर्न वोकल की टेक्निक में, तो उसके लिए इन्हें शायद थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस चाहिए होगी। मतलब आप सही बता पाओगे ज़्यादा डिटेल में। बट ये मुझे इनका अच्छा लगा कि जो कुछ सिंगर्स होते हैं जो मतलब बेसिक ट्रेनिंग पहले करते हैं या फिर बिल्ड अप करते हैं और फिर उसके बाद गाते हैं, whereas there are other singers जो कि गाते पहले हैं एंड फील से गाते हैं एंड देन गाते गाते दे गेट द होल काइंड ऑफ। और मैं सेकंड कैटेगरी में हूँ। आई गेस आप भी शायद वही कैटेगरी में होंगे। बट आई थिंक दैट इज अ रियली कूल थिंग, क्योंकि फील और इमोशन मुझे पता आ रहा था उसमें। मे बी शायद आई गेस उनको थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो जो मुर्कियां हैं द फाइनल मूवमेंट्स वो भी उनके आवाज में सेट हो जाएंगी। आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट माय टेक इज।
Right. I mean, that's very well pointed out. He actually mentioned a couple of points that I wanted to say as well. Firstly, with the harmonium, I think, Ariz, you could have taken more of a drone note or something like where the key was more clear rather than the pop, playing it again and again. I think even it was distracting for you as well. So I could notice that you went a bit off pitch in a few places because of it. And also, again, there was no specific rhythm, right? There was no beat that you were singing to, even though, I mean, I couldn't notice any drastic shift in like you going off beat, but the pitch and the beat, like I said to Abhitesh in the previous entry, please practice with the metronome, use an instrument or anything to help your pitch get better. But now coming to the main aspect of focus for me was how your voice sounded, the texture of your voice. Like Angad mentioned, you have that typical Instagram voice, if you know what I mean. It's that Instagram singer's voice. It's not a good or a bad thing necessarily, but it is just the texture of your voice and it has a lot of emotion. So there are a couple of Instagram singers that come to mind. This sort of a vocal might fit someone like a Ritwiz's song, like the vocal texture, or there is another singer I know called, I think, Darwin Music. Probably like your pitching is not perfect, but it doesn't matter too much because the emotion is coming through. So in that way, it's fine, but you do need to work on your pitching and rhythm. And a couple of other things is breath control. You were running out of breath throughout. So instead of na 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 na, it was na 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 na. There were a lot of breaks, so you need to work on your breath control. That's definitely there, and I have mentioned a lot of times to do the breathing exercise through your diaphragm and then exhale through your teeth. You can follow our Western Vocals beginners course. Again, the last few episodes we have done the same. And the second thing is vibrato, as Angad mentioned. You have a nice vibrato, but you need a little more control of it. Like those pitches, you need to hit them like a little more accurately. So that is when vibrato sounds better. Now it was sounding a bit too wavery. So otherwise, you have a lot of potential, and then I really enjoy listening to your voice. So it has a lot of emotion. So please work on the aspects we have mentioned. I think I'm looking forward to more entries from you in the future.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
No, I think you've covered.
Okay, great. Thank you for sending that video across. So the really good thing that I like about doing these sessions, Angad, is that we get entries from absolutely all throughout the country.
Wow,
So
that's exciting.
It's really fun. Like you get from all corners, and this next one, I think this is the first time we're getting one from Shimla. So this is
nice.
Payal from Rodu, Shimla. So let's take a listen to Payal again. It's a 51-second video, so I think it's good to go.
जाने में जान तेनू देना गल संग वाली सारी मैं मिटा देनी आ फोटो दिल दे कॉलेज चुलका के सीम रखी अज अखां दे सामने खड़ा देनी आ तकदा ही जावा ना तेनू चावा नजरां तेरे तो ना हटावा मैं तेरा इंज शर्माना अखां नू चुकाना तेनू ਵੇਖਦਾ ਹੀ ਥਾਂ ਮਰ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਚ ਲੁਕਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਂ ਮੈਥੋਂ ਤੂੰ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੜੀ ਚ ਮੈਂ ਪਰੋ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਿਤੇ ਸਾਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਦੂਰ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਦੀ.
Okay.
Whoa.
That ended pretty nice. Okay.
ऐसा लग रहा है someone walked into the room to cut off the recording, right? सबके साथ होता है.
So firstly, before I let Angad speak, I think I really enjoy your voice, but that apart, you need to sing with a little more confidence and not be aware, like thinking of people walking in.
That's
So I
very
saw
true.
you looking all over around the room to see if someone was walking in. So just be a little more free and relaxed, I guess, while singing. So anyway, Angad, take it away.
That I think was a very good point. I mean, मैंने realize नहीं किया initially कि क्या चीज़ थी. मैं खुद distract हो रहा था. वीडियो को देख के even I got that feeling कि कौन है? I want to know what's happening behind the camera. So that's a really nice, I think, tip. But पायल की आवाज़ बहुत ही अच्छी लगी मुझे. I think I love Punjabi as a language.
Okay, this was a Punjabi song, right?
पंजाबी सॉन्ग था ये एंड शी sang it so well क्योंकि मतलब हर एक लैंग्वेज का इमोशन अलग होता है राइट लाइक इंग्लिश की जो केडेंस होती है इट्स डिफरेंट एंड हिंदी की अलग है एंड पंजाबी की इट्स आई डोंट नो आई फाइंड इट वेरी पोएटिक
It's very groovy and sweet.
एग्जैक्टली
Yes, yes,
दोनों
yes.
का कॉम्बिनेशन है इट्स लाइक
yes,
it
yes.
kind of hits the sweet spot. I really loved the performance by really cool.
Okay, so anything else you would like to add?
नहीं आई थिंक दैट वाज इट. रिदम के बारे में मुझे लगा एक तो जगह पे बट आई थिंक यू आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट दिस राइट या
Yeah, so definitely again we tell this to pretty much everyone who is not using a metronome or a karaoke track. So your pitch is pretty much spot on. I did not think that anywhere you were like off key or anything. And it was a really good performance, even though you were very distracted. It was a pretty solid performance, so no doubts with that at all. So now coming to the pointer that he mentioned, and even I'm telling you now that please use a metronome or at least a karaoke track. So you have a lot of these softwares these days and everything where you can change the scale or key to whatever you're comfortable with. So just drag a karaoke from YouTube. I'm sure you'll find for all famous songs, and then just drag it into the software, reduce it to your key or increase it to your key depending on whatever you're comfortable with, and try singing along with it so that you're not necessarily going off the beat. So now a cappella, it sounded good, just your vocal, but then we were being musicians, we keep tapping and snapping, and every time you miss a beat and then we started snapping again. So so we have to restart each time. So just work on that. That is one thing. And apart from that, again, because you have that slightly higher, I think you're more of a mezzo soprano sort of a voice range. So I would love to listen to songs by maybe like Taylor Swift or like Selena Gomez and all of that. If you are into Western music, you can definitely try singing these sort of modern pop songs, and I would love to listen to that in your voice. And the other thing which I felt, it's not like you really need to work on it, but breath control, as I mentioned, is something, especially for slightly higher voice singers, it's easy to run out of breath a little faster when you're singing in that little more airy, breathy sort of a quality. So please work on breath control. Diaphragmatic breathing is very important, and then see how long you can hold each breath, and time yourself when you're exhaling through your mouth or slowly through your nostrils, and then slowly build upon that. Be conscious when you're breathing and know where you can take. So the other reason why I keep telling everyone to use a metronome is, without a metronome they take a breath where they want. Right?
Then again flow
Na,
बीच
na,
में
na,
रुक जाता
na.
है.
Na, 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 na. Like, it's wherever you want you can do it, but when you are sticking to, it's like a timekeeper, right? So you can't go beyond it. So you have to sing on the beat. And if you have to take a breath, if it's a short breath, take a short breath and then continue the line. If you have a lot of gap between two lines, you can take a long breath. So you start understanding breath control a lot along with rhythm when you practice with a metronome or a karaoke track. So that is something very important. And lastly, I would also say, I mean, I haven't heard you sing anything else, so this is just more of a suggestion than feedback. You can definitely look into, I have told this to a lot of female singers, look into trying to project your voice more. So now it has that very sweet sounding modern Bollywood sound, right?
Soft
So
almost.
yeah, it's very soft and very like pleasant to listen to. But then I would love to see how you would do when there's more impact or that push through the voice. So versatility is very important. Of course, in these days, film music, I think one sort of voice is more favored, especially with female vocalists. With male vocalists, it's actually switched. If you noticed, compared to the 60s till the 80s or so, male vocalists had a very typical male voice, and the female vocalists used to like do all the hard work, and now it's completely flipped
up.
where in the film industry you will hear very similar female singers, but then the male singers are doing like all these very different variations, like so whether it's Sonu Nigam or Arijit Singh or all these guys. So
that's so true.
And I would like to do it, you like her or not. This is an example I give again and again. Neha Kakkar is a great example of using her voice as a unique, versatile instrument in each song. She can get different textures, whether it's a party song, whether it's a breakup song, whether it's like anything.
Soft song, it doesn't matter.
So right, she can sing anything from like a Punjabi inspired pop track to like a Manali trance sort of a thing. So try pushing
that
through
flavor.
that, bring that flavor, sing with a little more body rather than that thinner, softer sound. Try to bring in more of your nasal resonance and like just try to experiment with all this. I think that's pretty much it. You have a lot of potential and we loved listening to you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking forward to more entries. Thank you so much, Payal, for sending that across. So, Angad, we have the fourth entry for today, which is Priyanka Pathak. I think she is from West Bengal.
Nice. All over the country.
Yeah.
मजा आ रहा है.
Okay, so this is a pretty longish video. It's 2.5 minutes long. So, let's cut it at about 1 minute.
Yeah.
हमको हमी से चुरा लो, दिल में कहीं तुम छुपा लो, हमको हमी से चुरा लो, दिल में कहीं तुम छुपा लो, हम अकेले खो न जाए, दूरी तुमसे हो न जाए, पास आओ गले से लगा लो, पास आओ
Okay, so
Nice.
yeah, thank you Priyanka for sending that across. Angad,
Yeah.
I'll let you speak first.
I think she has this, जैसे 80s and 90s का,
Exactly.
you know, like that sweet voice. You know what I'm talking
That
about?
high Asha Bhosle.
Asha Bhosle, exactly. You know, I was just thinking like, which one. I'm sure this is Asha. You know, I mean, she has so much potential in that to
Right.
like. मुझे बस ऐसा लगा कि she was holding herself back थोड़ा सा,
True.
है ना, कि
True.
like, you know,
Yes.
there is like this, sometimes singers have a question mark in their mind कि am I on the right pitch, am I doing this
Correct.
right thing, and that stops us
Correct.
sometimes कि
If
know,
you
from going
noticed,
full out.
she actually switched keys after the first two lines.
That's what it was, right? I was like, huh, first line it started and then she
Yeah,
got this
then-
space.
Then suddenly
Acha
she
tha.
changed the key. Na,
Yeah.
na, 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 na. You sang one and then next time you took it lower. So yeah, that was
That's-
it. And then anything else?
No, I mean, I really like her voice, but I think I want to see her be a little bit more comfortable in her own voice and, you know,
Mhm.
bring that out. I think that's the only thing I would see, sorry, what's her name?
Priyanka.
Priyanka. That's the only thing I would see Priyanka to like improve, क्योंकि उसकी आवाज में बहुत potential है.
हाँ.
I feel like she can really bring out that Asha Bhosle वाला flavor, and rare है आजकल, you know,
True,
like
true.
we were just
Exactly,
saying,
exactly.
आजकल वैसा flavor भी नहीं आता है, and if she just kind of, I think the right term is to project her voice.
True.
That would be one
Yes.
thing which would be very exciting
Yeah.
for me.
You covered pretty much everything I want to say. So yeah, Priyanka, firstly, as I said, you switched scale or key. Basically, the tune was fine, but then the key just shifted. So please make sure, again, we come back to the same thing, back to the drawing board. Try practicing with, even if you can't play an instrument, it's not that hard to download an app, see which scale the song is in, just play that one note or one chord, or use anything you can to just keep, or even phones, you have these apps. What is the
Tanpura.
Shruti box called?
Tanpura ka app.
Tanpura, yeah.
हाँ,
Tanpura app.
का app ले लो.
Just use a scale, whichever scale you're comfortable with, let it keep going on in the back and sing to that. So if you go off, your ears can hear it, right? Now, as a singer, if you can't hear, I mean, going off, everyone goes off. That's like
That's
even
right.
the most professional singers go off key sometimes. That's perfectly fine. But knowing you went off, that is important.
Yeah, yeah.
Immediately
Very well
realizing that you went off key and then correcting it is important, because otherwise you'll sing the rest of the song in that off key, right? So please practice with an instrument or an app or whatever you have at your disposal, and try to practice with the original song as well. That's one thing. And secondly, again, same metronome, karaoke, use a beat so that breath control, and you're learning to sing on the tal or the rhythm, okay? And as he said, you have that classic 90s, 80s sort of a texture, that high pitched texture, but then again, there would be a lot more resonance. Like here, I felt it was a little thinner. Like I think you need to fatten that texture by pushing air upwards. Like there is a difference between me singing and right? So make it a little more, push air upwards. Don't push your throat down and strain yourself. Just push the air upwards. Even if you sound a bit nasal, it's perfectly fine. So that is one tip I can give you. And you are the classic closed mouth singer, as we call it. So maybe you do have more, I mean, what do you say? More tools, right, in your toolkit, rather than just that one singing high. But again, as Angad mentioned at the beginning, it felt that maybe you were like underconfident, or you were thinking a little too much about, am I singing this right? Is this correct? And you were very conscious of it, and you were not letting your voice project out. So please don't do that. Even if you make a mistake, it's fine. Just make sure you project your voice, and so that you know the full capacity, right? So try to sing with more of an open mouth. What you're singing with, do it might sound or look weird to you, but I guess that is very important to start understanding yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So please, hope you take the feedback in the right way. You have a really nice voice, and develop it, and we are looking forward to listening to more entries from you. So thank you, Priyanka, for sending that across. Sangad, having fun?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is so cool.
Yeah. So anyway, we are down to the last entry, the fifth one
Oh,
for the
man.
day.
That was so fast.
Yeah. Are you enjoying yourself
Yeah,
being
I
in this session?
didn't realize we've already reached the last one.
Right. So Cool. So the last entry is by Randhir Kumar from Bangalore represent.
Oh, let's go.
So this is Randhir from Bangalore.
Hey friends, एक सॉन्ग इस गाने का भी मेरा मन है खास आप लोग के लिए हमें और जीने की चाहत ना होती हमें और जीने की चाहत ना होती अगर तुम ना होते अगर तुम ना होते हमें और जीने की चाहत ना होती अगर तुम ना होते अगर तुम ना होते बहुत ही प्यारा सा लगा बोले तो आपको अगर अच्छा लगे तो लाइक और शेयर जरूर बताएं कैसा लगा
Okay, I think there's a lot of music in between, so we'll have to cut it off. We didn't get too many lines. It was the same 2 lines repeated twice, but that's all the time we have. So Angad, what did you think of Randhir's?
I really like his. I like that he's having so much fun. मतलब एकदम गाने में खो के अपने आप को
Right.
गाने में डूब के अपने आप को खो के ऐसा इतना अच्छे से गा रहा है कि मुझे भी वो फीलिंग ट्रांसलेट हो जाती है एज अ व्यूअर जब आप सॉन्ग को एंजॉय करते हो
True.
दैट्स लाइक द most important first step
Definitely.
for anybody else to enjoy
Any
the song.
musician,
हाँ.
you enjoy what you're singing or playing first.
Yeah.
That is when the audience is gonna connect.
Really,
with
तो
you.
वो
Right.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. He had a really nice presence, जैसे बोलते हैं stage presence या फिर camera presence, and I really like the quality of his voice. मतलब जो texture जो कहते हैं ना उसको, which it was really nice. Again, as a filmy kind of old school filmy, maybe
Old school.
90s थोड़ा सा
Yes,
few
yes.
2000s तक तो change हो गया था, but maybe some of the 90s vocalists की
Yes.
vibe आ रही थी मुझे, and like pretty good. I think he did a good job. Track
Yeah.
के साथ भी आपने गाया है. ताल I think एक दो जगह 19-20 जैसे हम
Yeah.
कहते हैं हिंदी में, it's just like 90% आप हो,
Yeah, yeah.
99% you're good.
True.
But yeah, मुझे all in all really enjoyed your performance. I think मेरे लिए highlight यही था कि you were having such a good time कि मैं भी आपके साथ I was lost in the song, so that was cool.
Nice. So thanks Angad. So Randhir, what I would definitely say is I loved your presence as he mentioned, and then I really like the fact that you used the karaoke and you stuck to the beat pretty much as he mentioned.
Yeah.
Couple of places maybe you took it a bit later, but at least you realized that you had to come back on the tal or the beat.
Yes,
So
very
that's good. And secondly, again, pitch was almost there, but then there were a lot of places where I think you were straining a bit, and then so it was falling flat. So as I always say, warm up before singing. There are a lot of warm ups on our channel. Please go listen to all of that, and then also push air upwards. So I mentioned this previously as well. Don't lift your neck and be like, ah, it's gonna strain down obviously. So you need to do ah, where you're pushing, and you need to feel the vibrations here. That is when you know that okay, I'm hitting the right pitch, but without straining myself, right? So that might take a bit of time. The technique is to push air upwards rather than pushing at your voice box down. So please work on that. And again, usual breath control, pitching. So those are 2 things. And the other thing which he mentioned is you do have a classic 80s, 90s sort of a voice. But one thing that was lacking in it was a pretty, what I would say, thin again. It wasn't very thin, but it didn't have that na 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 na. So bring in that chest resonance as well. It was somewhere in between. It wasn't fully going high to that resonant texture, nor was it that strong, solid, chesty voice, right? It just stuck there throughout. So try to experiment with this. Maybe sing it one whole octave lower and see how, so that you just start feeling it. It might not sound good. feel the vibrations and the resonance in your chest area, and whenever you're feeling it at your throat, make sure you don't strain and you push it upwards. So all of these techniques, along with warm-ups such as lip trills, vocal fries, the yaya technique, all of these can definitely help you, and maybe adding a bit of twang in your singing, as we say it, I think will definitely help you specifically. You can go watch our reel on what twang is and how you can start incorporating it into your singing. But otherwise, really liked your enthusiasm and your confidence, and keep singing, and we would love to hear again from you. So thank you so much, Randhir, for sending it across. So Angad, we are at the end of the session. Anything you would like to tell our students and our community?
I had a lot of fun. मैंने मतलब जितने भी videos देखे आज जो हमने 5 देखे हैं, they were all, it was so nice to see कि सब लोग अपने अपने स्टाइल में, अपनी अपनी वैरायटी में, from different places all over the country, आप लोग इतने अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो, and you know you guys are connected to us in some way. So you know I'm hoping कि मैं फिर से एक बार ये कर पाऊंगा. I would love to see some more entries and you know chat with you and help out some people कि मतलब
So
वही
guys,
हमारे लिए सबसे अच्छी
we're
बात
planning
है.
to get Angad on next week as well. So
yeah.
if you want him again and you're having fun with this, so put it down in the comments and we'll see what we can do. So thank you so much, Angad. It was a pleasure having you.
My pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So guys, if this was the first time you're watching it and you want to submit your entry as well, go down to the description box below and just fill out the sheets and you can submit. We would ideally prefer a video about 1 minute long. Just an audio would like not make me see the physical aspects of your singing. So I would like to see you guys sing as well to give you feedback on that. Apart from that, any language goes, and just make sure there's not too much noise and you're not using any effects such as auto-tune or extra compression, reverb, any of that. I would like to listen to a raw texture of your voice. Okay. So I'll see you next Friday then at 5 for the next Feedback Friday session. Until then, keep singing. Take care.